are you doing? How are you getting on? Are you well? Thank you very much to everyone who watched my last video. As I said in my last video, you should probably talk about things and write about things that you yourself know something on. So this is more specifically to do with disability and being a young woman who happens to have a physical disability. This channel is not going to be about my disability, because there's so much more to me than that, but because of my alternative way of growing up, it is obviously going to weave its way into my content. It has made up so much of who I am. I definitely would not be the same person if I didn't go through everything, and I would not have the same interests. I probably wouldn't be into writing. I'll say that straight off the bat. I wouldn't be studying journalism, but I do have a condition called scoliosis, which is an abnormal curve of the spine, and I have a very interesting case of it, which means it has just required an awful lot of spinal surgery, and I've had about 50 spinal surgeries to date, and I've had other treatment down through the years as well. I've had physio. I've physioed my life away at times. It's very hard for me to talk about it when you haven't met me, because you're probably thinking of, well, she can probably only walk so far, she can probably only do so much, she can probably only do this, she can probably only do that, and that does make talking about it to people either, and I've talked about it on the radio before. I've been interviewed on the radio a few times, and I don't like to paint a picture that is not accurate, but I don't like to overdress it, and I don't like to overstate it, and it is sometimes hard to find the language and the balance with myself to talk about it, because I like to see things in as much of a positive light as I can. The thing about labels is, just like that, it's so easy to be known as, the brave girl, the good girl, the strong girl, and this is the thing, it's all girl. Strong girl, the quiet girl, the nice girl, the girl who has sense, because I suppose more so people that have maybe known me for a long number of years know that I generally have a fairly mature enough head on my shoulders, and that isn't just down to having a disability and having to maneuver so many systems and processes and admin, and I can't describe it how much you need to be able to have your own voice at such a young age. And these are things I've learned from my parents. I've seen my parents, I don't know why I'm pointing over there because they're not here, but I've seen my parents, be strong and fight the corner on my behalf. And also, as well, I'm the youngest in my house. I was always surrounded by adults. I'm the youngest in my house. There's a 14-year age gap between me and my brother, and then slightly bigger age gap between my other siblings, but I've always been around adults, and I've always been even when I was a child, I was very social. I wanted to be in the middle of the fun. I remember when a car was coming up the Catteridge, I was running out to see who was coming up and who was going to tell me the stories. Very close with my sister as well. Your experiences do shape you to be the person that you are today. I'm a believer in that, but obviously, of course, that doesn't mean that if your past has been traumatic and difficult and troubling, that doesn't mean that the rest of your life is going to be like that. And maybe that's very easy for me to say, but I can only say that has been my situation. That my past, you could say, has been challenging is a good word to go with, in more ways than one, not just from a health perspective. But I think to a lot of people, I seem to have it all together. Whenever people met me, and it's something I'm only really coming to terms with now, how not happy I was, how unhappy I was, when I was like a younger teenager, and pretty much up until I left school, I really was not content, and I really was not happy. There was times where I was very extremely unhappy. Like I'm not saying I was depressed, but I was definitely not happy. And I think, you know, when people met me, particularly you know, in the community, oh, that's Catherine, that's the, you know, the brave girl. The thing is about living in such a small community as well, a considerable amount of people know who you are and know your business. And listen, I'm not knocking living in a rural community, you know, there's a great sense of familiarity, and I'm saying that very slow because that is a word I can never say right. People remember, you know, people have seen me be very sick, very unwell physically, you know, because I used to have surgery every 3 and 4 months, which is a lot for a long number of years. People probably have seen me be very unwell, very sick, quite feeble. Unfortunately, I think those are images that, you know, that some people find very hard to disregard. And then when it came to me saying, well, I'm going to Dublin, lads, I'm off to the big smoke and you can't stop me, people were like, yeah, good luck, you know. The thing is, I've done it. I've done it, you know, I have done it. I'm so content and I'm so happy, and up here, I wasn't given any labels, and to be honest, even my spinal condition is something I haven't even talked about at great length in college with people. Obviously it has come up, you know, and I am still very open about it. I'm not known for being, you know, the brave girl, the martyr, the soldier. I think when you think of disability, you think of a very clinical world, hospital appointments, medication, very restricted lifestyle. Maybe some people might think that. It doesn't have to be as restricted as people might deem it to be. You know, most things can be very manageable if you have the right plan, the right people around you, the right attitude of the people around you, and to be able to think outside the box. I love tea. I equally love wine. Obviously, responsibly. I love the smell of fresh grass. I love writing. It sounds a bit odd to say I love the news. I like following the news, and I'm really into radio broadcasting. I love dancing. I love going for a dance. Dancing with strangers is always a good fun, obviously in a safe setting. I love having fun with taxi drivers on my way home when the birds are singing. I've made it home to my flat when the birds are singing. And still made it to a 9 o'clock seminar, like 4 or 5 hours later. I'm quite resilient. I like going on dates and kissing boys. Oh god, I have a life. I do. Shock, horror. You wouldn't have thought it, I know. That's what people since I've met last year and kind of know me for. I've quite an interesting life now. I'm not saying I'm a woman who demands to be brought to the Shelburne for afternoon tea. But like, the offer is there, I'm hardly going to say no. Obviously, to a certain extent, labels are necessary. I mean, if I didn't have any label, as in scoliosis and a couple of other things, when it comes to consultants and, you know, getting access to services, like I would be lost. I need my diagnosis. That does not mean it should have ever filtered so much into my social situations and public perception. I am my own person. Maybe this discussion will filter more at another time, and it's something I need to do a little bit more research on, is disability and sexuality, and how women with disabilities are portrayed in the media. The discussion doesn't end here. There's an awful lot more that I have left unsaid. But just remember, you know, just because someone has a label, it doesn't mean that is the mechanic in motion that doctrines their personality and the way that they are and the person they are and the soul that they have. Scoliosis sounds restricting, it sounds painful, it definitely doesn't sound feminine. It definitely doesn't sound anything that helps with femininity and a feminine kind of aura and image. I suppose it you know, that's how it sounds anyway when you first think of it. But really, I'm my own person, I'm a young woman, I do things that a lot of other women do. I refuse anymore to be pulled in any direction by people when it comes to the labels that are attached to my name on a medical file. That has made me all the more freer. I hope you enjoy this. If you have any thoughts on this yourself, if you know anyone maybe with the condition, or if you yourself have it, just your thoughts on anything that I've brought up. And if you have any questions about anything, let me know. You can either leave it in a comment below. I'll leave all my social media links down below as well, and I'll leave my email address there too. I have a Facebook page where you can send me a private message if you would prefer. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on here soon.